Out back. How you doing? Good, well. Yeah.
You're sitting on your hands. Nothing is being done. Nothing at all. There's a war going on out there, Jane. We had a kid in this district die last week of a drug overdose.
Steve, you make it sound like the school board doesn't see a problem. We do. Our kids are buying drugs. Things aren't going to change until they, the buyers, our kids, change their minds. And that's why we have a drug education program.
Well, in my opinion, a drug education program isn't good enough because it sacrifices today's kids for tomorrow's. My position is very simple. Use drugs and you're out of school, period. All right?
You're asking us to test at random all students for drug use?
What do you do about the kids that test positive? How do you propose to help them?
Our first worry ought to be the kids who are drug-free and trying to make it.
That's right.
You help them by cutting out the kids who pressure others to take drugs.
It takes a lot of guts to stay clean when all their friends are doing it, Mr. Harlan. Now, a school-wide drug test could give a kid who doesn't have the courage an excuse to say no.
Hey, Ralph! Right! Over here.
What's going on, man?
Hey, wait. Look at the gun! What? Only the best, man.
Best what? What are you talking about?
Over here. I want you to try some of this stuff. You're gonna like it. You can touch it. It's not gonna bite.
While you talk, who is going to save the kids who are being offered drugs everywhere they turn?
The best way to help them is to teach parents and teachers the signs of kids on drugs. Then call for a drug test once they've spotted something suspicious. There are rights problems we have to consider after all.
What rights are violated if lives are saved?
Come on, man. How long are you gonna stare at, Hatch? It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, but starving will.
Hey, yo. Try some of this after you eat. It's on me.
I fall asleep after I eat. You eat it.
Whoa! Oh! You all right, Jay? I'm great. New shoes. Thanks for the save. Okay.
Steve, how much do these tests cost? And how accurate are they? And how good is the lab you're proposing we use?
If someone tests positive, who has access to that information?
Mrs. Rupert, there are no national regulations now. So let us examine very carefully the new testing program over at the Whitney School District before acting here.
Jane, when your butt's on fire, you don't talk about it, you sit on it hard. Come on, let's put a drug testing program in place tonight before another one of our kids dies.
All right, guys, I know it's early. We've got county coming up, though. We're going to get in the water. We're going to have fun today. You betcha. Everybody in the water. 60 seconds or less. Let's go. If you're late, you got a 200 fly. All right. Come on, you, over there. Let's go. Come on. Come on, everybody in. Everybody in. Nobody's going to beat us. All right, guys, let's get out of the pool. Let's go. Everybody out. All right, you got class in 5 minutes. I don't want to see anybody on this deck. All right? Let's everybody hit the locker. Let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Craig, Jay, come on, guys. What are you doing in there?
There you go. All right, you cool?
Yeah, when we got some.
Okay, listen up. Man, you won't be disappointed.
I hope not.
First period bells in 2 minutes.
Okay, Coach.
What's going on, Jay? Hey, Coach.
How's it going?
Later, buddy. See you later, man.
Hey, Jay, I thought you weren't doing that stuff anymore.
I thought you stopped being my mother.
Don't think you and your friends have me fooled.
I wish you'd stop moaning and sit up. People think I'm talking to myself.
Oh, sharing what I'm thinking is moaning?
You're gonna get in. Stop worrying about it.
That's easy for you to say.
No, it's not.
You already admitted. What happens to us if I don't get into Garfield?
Well, you're being a jerk.
Jerks worry.
Then sit up and worry.
I don't worry well sitting up.
Then sit up and worry badly. People are looking.
You know, Carla, sometimes I really think you're paranoid. Do they realize how stupid they look?
I doubt it. They do it every morning.
My mom and your dad? Well, they could at least do something that looks coordinated.
They're adults. They're beyond appearances.
Yeah, well, I let you win.
I won. What took you guys so long? One coffee?
What, did you drive? Well, I was walking.
My mom and your dad?
Every morning. You know, you could end up being my brother.
Well, I better get these while I can.
Okay, class, can I have your attention, please? Jay, Craig? That means you too. All right, now here's a question for you. What does the school board's new random drug test have to do with what we're studying in the Constitution? Any ideas? Did anyone read today's assignment? Okay. You're a tourist, and you're visiting a country that is ruled by a dictator. I'm an agent for that dictator. This special agent who's looking for who knows what, maybe secret correspondence. Craig, you be the tourist. Come up here. Walk. I said walk. Up against the wall. Up against the wall, now. Hands against the wall. Hey, come on. Empty your pockets. Well, you want me to empty them? I'll empty them for you.
Hey, hands off, mister. That's private.
There's nothing private here. Go back to your seat. So, how do I get away with that? Did anyone read today's assignment, Fourth Amendment? Well, it says that the government can't unreasonably search your person or your house without something called probable cause. Now, that means that they have to have a very specific suspicion that you've done something wrong.
So what does the Fourth Amendment have to do with our taking a drug test? You know, going to the bathroom in a bottle.
It's a search of you, which the Fourth Amendment generally prohibits. Absent what? Probable cause or reasonable suspicion.
Yeah, but it's the bottle they're searching, so what's the big deal?
What's in the bottle is you, or part of you that's being searched.
Well, how can the school do that to us? How can they get away with the random drug test? I mean, don't we have any Fourth Amendment rights?
You do. But how they apply here at school is discussion for another day.
couple of deliveries. Mrs. Lacey's canary, Eric, has another headache. I got a call today from Garfield University. I didn't know you applied there.
Yeah, it's my first choice. I'm on their waiting list.
Well, a friend of mine, we were in veterinary school together, was on the admissions committee, and she was snooping around, checking to see if you were as promising in person as you are on paper.
And?
And I told them you'd be an asset to their school. Now get going.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Is that a sock in your ear?
Yeah, earache.
It does help?
Usually.
So why the cotton ball?
Gets me sympathy.
Could lose you some, too.
Will, you're wanted in the auditorium.
Now?
Now?
All right, I'll see you at lunch, okay?
Okay, listen up, please. As you all know by now, the school board has ordered random drug testing. We're participating in that program, and so are you since we pulled your names out of a hat. Whoa. All right, settle down.
First thing I ever won.
All right, settle down. The procedure is pretty straightforward. You will pick up a bottle from a monitor at the boys' restroom facility, urinate, and then return the bottle to the teacher on your way out. Any questions? Okay, stay together. Move out this way.
Hey, Mr. McMurdy, do they pay you for this?
Sally, Will was so upset.
I'd be embarrassed.
Oh, he was.
And outraged.
He was furious.
Imagine forcing a kid like Will to take a drug test, a kid you've never seen use or don't suspect of using drugs. What kind of example is that?
Whoa, come on. If the kid's clean, he's got nothing to be afraid of.
Afraid is not the point. What we teach is, look, teaching is based on trust. Once you permit a test that says we don't trust you no matter what you say or do, you've changed the learning environment drastically.
Stan, you don't think it's a problem that a school teaches kids that arbitrariness is okay?
Come on. I order 3 cups of coffee. I only get 2. Life is sometimes arbitrary.
Rights aren't, Stan. They're supposed to be inalienable. Remember George III? The American Revolution?
Yeah. Oh, give me a break, you two. Just wait till you have kids. You'll see things differently.
Oh, that's an adult answer. You want arbitrary? Watch. Bye.
Hey, what about coffee? Stone. 3 tested positive.
Linda Johnson, Craig Olson, Will Hatch.
Will, you're wanted in the principal's office.
These are the lab reports. 3 out of the first 20 tests came up positive. 1 was Will's.
Well, that's impossible.
Amphetamines were found in your urine sample.
Amphetamines? Wow, I've never taken that. Or any drugs in my life, Mr. Stone. I don't even smoke.
Mr. Stone, my son is not a liar.
Science isn't a liar either, Mrs. Hatch.
No, I'm telling you, I've never used drugs before.
Craig Olson said the same thing. And we found an envelope containing cocaine in his locker. Traces of the same drug were found in his car.
What were you doing in his locker and car?
The same thing we were doing in your locker. Hunting for drugs.
You have no right to do that.
The fact that there is reasonable suspicion Will takes drugs gives us the necessary permission, Mrs. Hatch. I'm sorry. We have never had a problem with Will. But I have to suspend him.
What?
You have the right to an appeal.
You will not believe who got caught in the drug test. Will Hatch.
Will? My Will?
And Craig and Linda Johnson. I swear. Jane heard it from Paul, whose sister used to go out with Craig until he started going out with Doreen's best friend, Meg.
Wait, how did Paul find out?
Michelle told him. They went through the lockers. Do you know what they'd find in mine if they went through it? I have a hairbrush I haven't cleaned since I was a freshman.
Jay. Are you okay? You don't look so well.
I'm fine. I'll see you later.
Ice cream out, would you, so it gets soft?
Dad?
No, it's okay. It's low fat. Check the label.
Dad, the test at school? Will tested positive.
What?
Well, drug test came back today and Will tested positive.
Did you know?
Did I know what?
They will use drugs.
It's a mistake.
What's a mistake?
The test.
Carla.
Will doesn't use drugs, Dad. The test is wrong.
Honey, I know how these tests work from the school board meetings. They're accurate.
Are you serious?
You aren't with him 24 hours a day.
He doesn't use drugs, Dad. You know Will as well as I do.
Carla, do you know how these tests work?
I know how Will works.
Will you listen to me for a second? Just give me a second here, all right? All right. We all leave fingerprints in everything we do. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right, look, let's say that somebody broke into the house here, okay? Well, we could figure out who they were from something physical, a fingerprint. Now, a urine sample, well, that's a kind of a fingerprint, too. That tells me, it tells anyone what you're up to. It tells us if you're pregnant, if you're using birth control, and it tells us if you're using drugs. That's what these tests do, Carla. They read people.
So what about what you see with your eyes, Dad? Or even what you feel in your heart?
Well, your eyes can deceive you, particularly when your heart's involved. Look, Carla, I don't want you to see Will anymore. At least while he's under this cloud.
Great. So now I'm guilty by association. Because my boyfriend, who doesn't use drugs, gets caught up in some stupid test that says he does?
Carla.
Well, I don't want you to see his mom anymore. I mean, think about how that would look, Dad.
county championships today, huh?
Don't suit up, Hatch.
Let's go, let's go.
I said don't suit up. What?
You're not swimming today.
Coach, this is county. I want my swimmers clean, Hatch. Back it up. Coach, I have a hearing. I don't need a hearing. Tell me about you and your buddies. Don't bother showing up for workout on Monday. I don't want to see you, or Craig, or Jay. What does Jay have to do with any of this? Don't blame me for the fool, Hatch.
I don't want to see you anywhere near my pool. Understand me?
Will! Will, I've been trying to reach you. Why aren't you in the meet?
I'm not swimming today.
What?
Brandon threw Craig and me off the team, J2.
Will, Jay's got a problem.
Yeah, I know Jay has a problem, but I don't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I really think you should talk to him. It's getting really bad.
How can this be happening to me? I'm supposed to swim in a meet that I can't swim in because the school I belong to I'm not going to belong to next week? Tell me, how do I explain that I'm not swimming? Because I don't take drugs, but a bottle of urine says I do, and the school believes the bottle and not me? You're the best thing I got going for me right now.
Now?
Always. Come on, let's get out of here. Let's go to your house.
Can't. I'm not supposed to be seeing you anymore.
What?
My dad believes the drug test.
Carly's known me for 3 years.
He still believes the test.
I'm not sure that's the best response.
I don't think I should work anymore, Dr. Taylor. You don't need a drug addict working for you.
Don't do that to yourself. You're no more a drug addict than I am. I've never known a test that doesn't have some margin for error, and I'm a doctor. And even if there was such a thing as a perfect test, human beings still run them. Do you know any perfect people? I'll trust my own instincts until I'm proven wrong. Mrs. Lacey's canary. Migraines.
Hello, Mrs. Hatch.
Mr. Stone?
I'm sorry that it's gotten out that Will tested positive, Mrs. Hatch. I really am. But I don't think we here are responsible for that.
Well, then who is?
I guess the answer is that kids talk among themselves.
And coaches talk in front of students, Mr. Stone?
We're going to have to develop in the future guidelines that will ensure strict confidentiality.
You don't have any now?
We're all pretty new at this. But I can tell you that even if a plan were in place now, leaks happen, even with the best of intentions.
And reputations can be destroyed, even with the best of intentions, Mr. Stone.
Hey, Jay! Jay! Hey, Jay! Hey, Jay!
You crazy, man?
What are you doing here, Will? Are you spying on me?
What are you doing this to yourself?
I'm not doing anything. Get out of here. Go! Go! Get out of here, Will!
I've never seen him like that before. I mean, it was crazy. He was crazy.
Are you sure it was crack?
Yeah, it was crack. He's graduated.
What do we do?
I don't know. I mean, do we tell his folks? Do we tell someone here? I don't take drugs, and look what they're doing in my life. What do we do, Carla?
I don't know, Will. I don't.
I really appreciate this. No problem. Look, he's gruff, he's demanding, but he's a good lawyer, and he's handled lots of cases like this before. Maybe he can help you. Thank you. Sure. See you later.
You will pick up a bottle at the girls' restroom facilities, urinate, and then return the bottle to the teacher posted at the lavatory. Any questions? In that case, Carla, we're not finished here yet.
I am. Testing kids by pulling their names out of a hat won't help kids on drugs.
Come back here, young lady.
Mr. Stone, when you see me do something, or I'm acting a little weird, I'll take your test. I have nothing to hide. Till then, forget it.
Do you have any allergies?
No.
Before the test, did you take any analgesics, diet pills, sleeping pills, prescription cough medicines?
No.
Cold medications?
Well, sometimes I get colds and earaches, so I take medicine for those. Yeah.
Is it one of the medications on this list?
Yeah, third one down.
Okay, there's your problem.
I don't understand.
Well, a drug test measures chemical traces of things like marijuana, cocaine, opiates, amphetamines, PCP. Everything I just asked Will if he took, though, can leave a chemical trace similar to one of the prohibited drugs, which results in a false positive, a reading of drug use in someone who hasn't taken any drugs. The decongestant Will took contains a chemical look-alike for amphetamines.
Well, shouldn't someone have noticed? Shouldn't the urine test have caught that?
Well, that depends on how the urine was tested. You gotta have good lab work.
Well, which test did they use?
Well, I'd have to find that out, along with the performance record of the lab that actually administered Will's test. Has there been a date set for the hearing?
Yeah, Thursday.
Okay. Great. We'll be ready. Something about this amuses you, Mrs. Hatch?
No, I'm not amused. I'm sorry, it's just that Sally had told me that you were sympathetic to this drug testing.
I am. I'm a hunter. If I were to come across a big herd of game, I wouldn't just fire into it with anything. I'd pick a gun with a sight so that I could target one particular animal. If I need to target a kid with a drug problem, I'd use a sight as well. And that sight would be what I saw with my own eyes. Some personality change or serious alteration in behavior. Without that, testing is just like firing into a herd, blindly, hoping you'll hit something.
I wish you'd been at the school board meeting.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Will? All right. Good luck.
Carla, just take the test and be done with it.
Do you think I take drugs, Dad?
Of course not, honey. I never said that.
The school never said it either. They don't think I take drugs, do you, Mr. Stone? All they're saying is go to the bathroom for us now while we listen or watch.
I should remind you, Carla, that if you don't take the test, the school board has said that amounts to admitting you've taken drugs, and you'll be suspended.
You always taught me to treat people fairly, with respect. How could you let them do this to me?
Carla, there's a lot at stake here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stone. I'm not taking your drug test. Not until I've given you some pretty good reasons to have to test me.
Carla, I called you.
I know. What you tried for?
Well, the Garfield recruiter called. I have an interview this afternoon.
I knew you'd get in.
I think you'll be able to stand it 4 more years than me?
I think I can manage.
Listen, I don't want you to get suspended. Not for me.
I'm not that romantic. You said I was doing it for you anyway. Besides, I have to do what I believe in, right?
Hiya.
Hi.
Hi.
Here, sit down. Sit down.
I heard about Carla, Stan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry she's caught up in this.
She has her hearing next week. I thought she'd change her mind.
She's got principles. You should be proud of her.
She has a future to think of, Sally. Let her finish her education, and then she can refine her principles.
So what would you do? Urinate in some bottle just because somebody told you to?
Well, I have nothing to hide.
Does Carla?
Of course not. It's her age. She's just being emotional.
So, Stan, have you tested any of your employees?
No, Sally, I haven't. But that's because I choose not to. They're good people. They've never given me any reason to think otherwise.
Did Carla give a reason? Did Will?
Look, I don't want to get into this now. You both know how much I like Will.
Will did not take drugs before that test, Stan. He took a pill for a cold. It shows traces just like amphetamine.
I've never heard of anything like that before.
Well, Will's lawyer says it's...
Wait a minute, you hired a lawyer?
He's a friend of mine.
Will's whole future is at stake, Stan.
Linda.
His lawyer believes he's innocent. I'm sorry you don't. Let's go, Stan.
This pill you referred to, how do I know Will actually took it the morning of the test?
Carla Daniels can establish that.
Carla Daniels is Will's girlfriend.
She's also a witness. Call her in and ask her.
What's to prevent her from lying?
Put her under oath.
This isn't a trial, Mr. Jensen. School hearings aren't held that way. Besides, I have information that Will has been involved with drugs.
What information is that, Mr. Stone?
I can't reveal that.
That's ridiculous.
So you would deny a person accused of wrongdoing the right to confront his accuser. In other words, the school board is not interested in fairness?
A person of authority saw Craig Olson, Jay Watts, and Will with a drug dealer. It's his judgment that a drug deal took place at that time.
A drug deal involving Will?
A drug deal, Mr. Jensen. Now, finally, I'm beginning to lose my patience.
So am I, believe me. I want Will's urine sample retested using a more accurate technique than was used here. If you are unwilling to do so, we are prepared to ask a court to order it done. The school board must learn, Mr. Stone, carelessness with people's lives carries a real cost, and they may just have to pay it.
Carla. Honey? What is it?
Will just called. Jay Watts is dead. An overdose.
When?
This afternoon. Your drug test. Tell me what good did it do him?
Honey, it just didn't get to him in time.
It didn't try, Dad. If you were serious about helping Jay, you would have focused on kids who showed signs of being in trouble.
Wait a minute. You knew he was in trouble and you didn't tell anyone?
Why, so people like you could could help him by throwing him out of school?
No, so we could try to help him.
Tell me how turning a drug test into a lottery helped Jay more than the teachers who were never involved, Dad, who were never called on to help.
You're asking me to suspend the drug test, Dan?
Well, there may be problems with the whole program.
Rush and get a quick fix. Your group wasn't listening.
There's a board meeting coming up. I want you to put me on the agenda so we can put a stop to this whole thing.
Well, I can put you on the agenda, but I can tell you right now you're not going to stop it.
Why not?
Nobody wants to look foolish. If they reverse themselves so soon, that's exactly how they're going to look.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, and then we got a bigger problem. If we stop the program now, the public could think we overturned it because the daughter of someone influential in education got caught.
What do I do, Jane?
Well, if you could get Will to testify, you might have a chance.
That's Carl on. I'll see you later.
Okay, then.
Hi, Will.
Mr. Daniels?
Hello, Linda.
Hi.
Hope I'm not disturbing anything.
No. Did you want to come in?
Listen, Will, I just wanted to tell you how pleased I was to hear that a retest had been ordered. You never gave me any reason to doubt you. I'm sorry that I did.
I am too.
I hope you'll forgive me.
Do you want to sit down, Stan?
I'm gonna go home.
Listen, Will, there's a school board meeting tomorrow night. If you came and told what happened to you, we might have a chance. No other kid would have to go through what you did.
Well, you put the test in place, Mr. Daniels. You take it apart.
Will.
I didn't get into Garfield.
I know, I called. They said they weighed your application very carefully, and although nothing was specifically mentioned about the drug test, it did color the matter. I'm sorry. I know your retest will be negative. You'll get in next year. I'll push for that.
Thanks.
State's got a good program. It's not that far away.
500 miles.
Well, we'll meet halfway, and you'll transfer after the first year.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about Jay. It was so stupid what he did. It was so stupid that there was nothing that could help him.
And what about what they did with Craig by throwing him out? What happens to him now?
I don't know. Let's get out of here. Let's go get something to eat or something.
Will? Mr. Jensen just called. The test came back negative. You okay, honey?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll see you later.
I think he should do something about this.
What's there to do?
School board meets tonight.
Let him meet.
I got suspended because I tried to show them the test wasn't getting to the right people. I'm proud of that. I'm not their victim. And I don't think you should be either.
Okay, let's go.
I know that I supported a drug testing program, but any program that lets a kid like Jay slip through, that lets him die, just doesn't work. You know, we talk about a war on drugs, but who goes to war with weapons that don't work? Who goes to war without the best soldiers we could have, teachers trained to help? Any test that's fair and reasonable is okay by me. But a test that turns a kid who takes a cold medicine into a drug user isn't fair. And one that ignores the possibility of human error isn't reasonable. I hope you'll reconsider.
Are there any questions on Stan Daniels' motion? I move the question. All in favor of reconsidering our drug testing program signify by saying aye.
I'd like to say something.
My name is Will Hatch. Your drug test hurt me, and it didn't help my friends Craig or Jay. If you're gonna do something about drugs, do it right.
Hi, I'm Christopher Daniel Barnes.
And I'm Lisa Dean Ryan. In the show you just saw, a young man died of a drug overdose.
If you know someone who has a drug or alcohol problem, tell a teacher or adult whom you can trust.
Or call a hotline and talk about it.
Save a life. For more information on drug or alcohol problems, call 1-800.